Good evening, everybody, and thank you so much for joining me again for episode 4 of Murder at Bedtime, the no waffle, no frills murder vlog. And tonight is a local murder, so let's crack on. Wednesday, the 13th of April 1994, was a normal spring morning for the Alesworth family at their home on Northumberland Drive in Aylesbury Bucks. Mrs. Alesworth had left the house early for work, and youngest daughter Kathleen, after looking in on her older sister Sarah, who was on holiday from university in Bournemouth, was still asleep, also left the house. At 9:30 a.m, Dr Patrick Alesworth awoke. He rose from his bed and made his way to the kitchen, where he picked up a ball hammer and a kitchen knife and made his way back up the stairs to the landing. On the landing, he met his daughter Sarah just leaving her bedroom. Now we can only imagine firstly the confusion, then the terror Sarah must have felt as the father she loved savagely beat her 14 times with the hammer, then stabbed her repeatedly. He then did the same to the family's pet dog. He then carried Sarah's dead body to the bedroom and placed her on her bed, and the dog placed at her feet. Dr Alesworth then returned to the kitchen, where he washed and returned the knife and hammer to their rightful places. He then sat down at the table and rang in sick from his job before jotting down some notes. A short time later, he made a phone call to his wife Jane and then proceeded to booby trap the house. He severed gas pipes and set timers on devices and appliances, designed, it seemed, to catch fire and cause an explosion. The doctor then drove into Aylesbury town centre and bought false number plates from Halfords. He then returned home to fit them to his car. So it would seem he was thinking pretty rationally about making a getaway at the time. I am assuming that Kathleen arrived home while her father was at Halfords, because she found a note at the door stating there was a gas leak and not to enter, in her father's handwriting. Also, reading between the lines, I am assuming that Kathleen now went to a neighbour and asked her to ring her mother to tell her, then left the vicinity once again. I believe Mrs. Alesworth arrived home just after Dr. Alesworth had arrived home and started changing the number plates. They got into an altercation on the front drive, where the doctor tried to stop his wife from entering the home, but she struggled free. Searching the house frantically, she found her lovely daughter face down on her blood-soaked bed. The doctor, now not having time to complete the number plate changeover, jumped into his wife's white Volvo and sped away. A national hunt for the doctor was now launched, and after a passenger on the Portsmouth to St Malmo ferry spotted the white Volvo, the French authorities were alerted. Roadblocks were set up at St Malmo docks, but the doctor sped through the checkpoint, a French officer having to dive to safety. The French police, now complete with a scrambled helicopter, went after Dr Alesworth, and after a 20-kilometre chase through the Brittany countryside, they apprehended him in the village of Ploubalai, where, according to reports, he had tried unsuccessfully to hijack a car at knife point. When they actually found him, he was sat in his own car, in a lay-by, high on drugs and alcohol, surrounded by syringes. He was extradited back to the UK and at his trial at Reading Crown Court Dr Alesworth pleaded guilty to the manslaughter of his daughter Sarah. Mr Alan Mines, defending, said the killing of Sarah was a Greek tragedy. Dr Alesworth was the doctor who could not cure himself. It turned out he had suffered for many years with mental health issues, and after 18 years of being a well-loved and respected GP at the Elmer surgery in Aylesbury, he had resigned the previous year to work for a medical agency. It is thought he resigned through stress, but this is unconfirmed. On the day of the murder, Dr Alesworth woke to voices telling him to kill his family and himself. His family and friends and colleagues were standing by him, as this was so out of character for him, and he was just a lovely, kind man. The judge, Mr Justice Morrison, criticised the psychiatrist treating Dr Alesworth throughout the month leading to the killing. He said it would appear that his state of mind and the risk that he posed to others was not detected. And on Friday the 24th of February 1995, he sentenced him to be detained indefinitely in a psychiatric hospital. He died at Fairmile Hospital in Oxfordshire 7 months later, on the 27th of September 1995. It is believed he took his own life, but even though I've been told by quite a few people that this is true, I can't confirm this. He was only 49 years old. He had a memorial service at Bearton Church, and his ashes are buried in the graveyard. Just a little word about Sarah. Apparently a lovely girl studying catering at Bournemouth University. She hoped to get into the hotel trade. She enjoyed skiing and tennis and was just unfortunate to be at home for the holidays on that day. Everyone I've spoken to has nothing but nice things to say about Patrick Alesworth. He always had the time for all his patients, was very kind, and always went the extra mile for people. But as always in every case I cover, there are questions that bother me. Question 1. If the voices told Dr Alesworth to kill his family and then himself, then why did he kill one daughter, then plan a getaway? Question 2. When he went to Halfords to buy new number plates, was he covered in blood? Was he in a state? Where was the evidence from the Halfords employee? That would have been interesting to hear. Question 3. If he planned to kill the whole family, why did he booby trap the house, then put a warning note on the door to stop people entering? And question 4. Why did he just run off to France? Why not just give himself up? I would be very interested to hear your opinions on this case, or on any of the questions I've asked, or any feedback at all. Could you forgive him and stand by him after he'd done that to your daughter or sister? I think this is the most interesting, but probably the saddest case I've researched so far. Thank you so much as always for taking the time to listen to my little take on murders. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you in a fortnight. Good night.